So I live right up the street from here. All right, now police station. Nice white neighborhood. School down the street. Mostly white kids go to, but a lot of black kids and Latinos go there now, because a lot of Latinos moved in the area recently. A lot of black people been moving in this area for the last 10 years or more, actually longer than that, last 20 years. Now, for I've been living in this neighborhood for almost 8 years, since 2013. Um, Actually, before that, since 2012. So I've been living here for 8 years. Let me say that before I lived here, I lived in the hood. It went down every day over there. Um, but this area here, when I used to come to this area, this very street, right here, this very street, it's yearling. Black people couldn't walk down the street without the police harassing you. And if you drove down the street, how do felons get protection? Protection from what? I don't understand. Protection from what? I don't understand the question. But this very street, I walk up and down all the time now. But some 15, 20 years ago, you couldn't walk up and down the street. And if you drove up and down the street and the police saw you, they would stop you from coming into this area by writing you tickets. They would just make up something. But eventually their efforts got stifled because there were so many black people moving into this area. And there was nothing they could do. And this area is called Whitehall. And they wanted it just to be just like that. Now the area next to it, if you just go down, not even a mile from here, is called Bexley. They still harass you for going in that area. If you walk down in Bexley at night and you're walking through the neighborhood at night, you will get harassed by the police. Because you have, $2-3 million homes down there. And the police will harass you. They will follow you. If you're walking through that neighborhood at night, what they'll do is they'll just slow down their cars and they'll creep right beside you until you walk out of Bexley, which is a damn shame. It's a damn shame. So you do get racially profiled for walking through Bexley. Not so much for walking through Whitehall anymore. But Bexley, Ohio, oh yeah. Oh yeah. You know what I'm saying? Oh yeah, because that's where the money's at. There are very few black people who own houses in Bexley. All day. Yeah, they are. All day. Like I said, there are very few black people who own the big houses in Bexley. They're not protecting us. We know this. So, there still is a lot of that racism going, being that everything is being online now and people are getting sued over it and fired and losing their jobs. It's not so much, but it's still here. There's still a lot of that. Not so much where I live. What's really interesting now is the Latino people. I made a video where I went into a Latino store, right down the street. I walked past it already today. And I said, hey, it's a nice store. We'll have more black people come in here. And she was like, no. I was like, you don't like black people? She was like, no. So they moved into an area, set up shop. They have stores. They have all kind of stuff. It's completely, I mean, they're almost monopolizing the whole area, with their stores and stuff. And black people don't care. We're like, hey, this is the great American hope. Do what you want. We don't care. But when you start being racist against us, and we've been here for the longest time, you start that garbage, we don't want you in our store. When we don't do that to you, now we got a problem. We don't do that to you. Black people don't tell Latinos not to come in their store. They may tell a certain Latino or Latin American not to come into their store because they're harassing or they're stealing. But we don't go, we don't like Latino people. Black people don't do that, especially a business owner. You'd be out your rabbit mind not to do that. I mean, to do that. You'd be crazy because you'd be cutting off the hand that feeds you. But the Latino people don't need the black dollar. They don't care about us listening to their music. They don't care about us celebrating Cinco de Mayo and going to Latino festival. They don't care about that. There's enough for them to where they can support themselves. They are self-sufficient. They do not need us. Now, do I do business with them? Absolutely, all the time. I just sold a lady a refrigerator. She's Latino. So I do business with them all the time because I don't care. I don't discriminate. The dollar's green to me. It all spins. And they don't bother me. I don't have an issue with Latino people. I just don't. So, but for her to tell me that, it really hurt because I'm like, we all live in this area, and I'm sure I've been living here longer than you've been living here, but now you want to tell me not to come into your store. And, there are laws against that. Now, they have their preference, but when they just all out say, hey, we don't like black people, you're about to start a race war. And you're going to tell enough people that, and they're going to come into that store, and they're going to do something to it. You're going to get these young gunners. These young gunners don't care. They'll come in there, they'll do something to those people over there. You know what I'm saying? They'll set that store ablaze because they just don't care. They're done with the disrespect. Old heads like me, I ain't got time to be running up and down the street. I don't care. But this neighborhood, this neighborhood is a mixed neighborhood now. But like I said, some 20 odd years ago, you could not walk up and down this very street right here because of these people. 5-0. 5-0 will rip you a new one. They'll write you all kind of crazy tickets for stuff you didn't do. And they were just harassing you. And it gets to a point where the federal police have to step in because it's not like black people are going anywhere. You don't want us to go anywhere. You really don't. They don't want us to go anywhere. I mean, let's be for real. If all the black people disappeared all of a sudden, or if all the black people, or all the people who are, 1% or 2%, whatever it is that makes you black, all of them had the option. This is people in jail, out of jail, whatever. Had the option of going to Africa, getting on a plane safely, going to Africa, and living a prosperous life over there. Not no downtrodden, disease-stricken, not the Dutch over there poisoning us and starting fake wars. None of that. Going over there and prospering without, worrying about America nuking us for some stupid reason. They'll probably come and invade us again anyway. But just living. Just living your life like we do, or like we're supposed to be doing over here. If you gave every black person that option and they were just like, you know what, that's cool. I'll go over there and we know we're not going to catch hell over there. You gave everybody that option, they'd probably do it. What up with you? How you doing? They'd probably do it, but I'm going to tell you something. If every black person decided to leave America, America would start blowing up the planes that the black people were on. They would. They would. Just like the Latino people. The people who complain about them, I'm just like, you need to stop complaining about them, because there's guarantees that, you're probably eating food that they done help get to the market. It probably passed through somebody with Latino hands, the food that you're eating now. Now, what, you think all the farmers are doing all that? Who do you think that they're hiring? They're hiring migrant workers. Okay? There's not a lot of African migrant workers. There's not African American migrant workers. There's not a lot of those. Those people come from the country right next to us, which you say you don't like, but nonetheless you use their oil. You buy their illegal oil. And you know who you buy it from? You buy it from the cartel. America buys cartel oil all the time. That's why the border is a joke. Putting up that wall is a joke. It's a joke. It's all political nonsense. That wall is a joke. Not for putting up that wall, keeping the illegals out when we are buying stuff from them. Get out of here. It's all, a fake Robin Hood story. Oh, I'm the savior of the people, but you're the one who's letting them do their, you're the one who's letting them commit their crimes. They wanted to stop them, they would. But they need them. They need them to do what they do. Saying it's a joke. But yeah, this street right here. This is Yearling. You could not walk up and down this street 20 years ago. Not without being harassed. Yes, I'm in. This is a white neighborhood. That's the municipal building. Yep, it's all white neighborhood. Mostly white people live here. I'll do some more walking. I'll finish walking home. I live up the street. I just decided to go and walk through a white neighborhood, thinking about my man Aubrey. You know what I'm saying? Thinking about other people, and the stuff they're going through. Because I went through some of this too. And I had white people blame me for something I ain't do. Fire me from jobs because of stuff I ain't do. It's been happening to me since I've been been happening to me. Yeah. It's no surprise to me. And it's going to keep happening. Hold on a second. You got some people who just can't stand other races. So you see how nice it is? How nice and manicured it is? See? See how neat it is? It's just a nice neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? It's a nice neighborhood. That used to be a Dairy Queen right there. It used to be popping too. I never ate there, but it used to be a Dairy Queen. And it's just a white neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? Why aren't they trying to Why aren't they trying to kill me? Because black people live here now. You know what I'm saying? We live here. I live right up the street. I'm walking home. I'm walking home. Not to mention I ain't walking into nobody's house. I'm not messing with anybody. Try to kill me for it. Let it go on about your business. You know what I'm saying? Shoot, I do business with these people in this area. Now what's really interesting is, see how these houses look alike? The same people that own these houses own my apartments. And the reason why these houses look alike is because they were all built military style. Because there's a military installation right up here. Soldiers and all that good stuff. It's not a base, it's a DCSC. So this military installation, these families used to live in here years ago, and then they opened for common families. That's funny. That works. That's how that's. Nice funny now. It's not a white neighborhood then. Oh, you're fooling yourself. Rather I on my feet than on my. Hey, there it is. 100%. No, it's a white neighborhood, bro. Still dominant. Show me a black neighborhood where no white people live. Show me one. Don't say Watts. Something like that. You can say on a street and the white people live, but the whole neighborhood. Tell me one where no white people live in the whole neighborhood. I like to know one. And I'll tell you, you are sorely mistaken. There's a white person around here somewhere that lives in this hood. But yet people will call it a black neighborhood. I grew up in a black neighborhood. You know how many white people live there? 2. 2 white people lived in that neighborhood. They lived right above me in my same building. And their names were Sarah and Paul. They were married. An older couple who loved nudie magazines. But they were married and they was cool as hell. They was broke as hell just like us. Just like us. Broke just like us. Living on welfare just like us. I'm just trying to tell you. You ain't gonna find a it's just all black people. You'll find a street. You might even find a block. You might even find a block where you have all black people or all white people. Well, all black people. There's plenty of areas where no black people live that all white people do. You got plenty of that. But you don't have plenty of the opposite. Even in the hood, there's white people who live in the neighborhood, even if it's a poor neighborhood. Why? Because there are more poor white people than there are black people. Because there are more white people than there are black people. 245 million to 40 million. We are outnumbered. Only 40 million of us, but 245 million of them. So, just to let you know, that's just how that goes. But this is definitely a white neighborhood. Most of these houses are owned by white people. See, I'm gonna tell you something else about this hood. The houses are owned by white people. The apartment is rented out to black people. So if I went down one of these streets and went into these apartments, you're gonna find most of the people that live in these apartments are black. But these houses right here, These houses are owned by white people, and they've owned them for years. It's not new. These houses are old. These houses are 30, 40 years old or more. Wasn't no black people buying houses here 30, 40 years ago. All these houses are owned by white people. This is a white neighborhood. But the military, see this guy just, see the military loves to have black people fight for them. They love to have black people fight for them. But when you get home, they treat you like you're still a slave. You went over there and fought for them and shot up people for them and their oil. And then when you get back, they treat you like you're nothing. You're like, I signed on a dotted line to give my life for the country I love. The only country I know. And I get back here and I'm still an alien to this country. This country doesn't love us. It doesn't. You don't treat people like that. Especially when they were willing to die for this soil. They believed that it was theirs in their whole heart, and you're still harassing them for nothing just because of a color. You got no other reason. I done had cops sit outside my house just harassing me for no reason. Following me home from work. One of them went and pulled up in front of my house in a white truck with his lights on, sitting at the red light, waiting on me. Knew when I was getting home. And when I noticed him, he took off. I was like, oh, like you about to hang somebody? Woo, Jesus Christ. And they was following me home all the way up until that day. From work. For no reason, but they wanted to scare me. So I was like, okay, shoot. This has gone to the extreme. I mean, they would follow me. I'd pull up into a Wendy's or something, they would pull up in like they were gonna. I was like, this is crazy. All because I wasn't afraid of them. They want to intimidate you. They're not here for us. I'm an American soldier. That means nothing to them. I'm a black man. That's all that matters. I work for the city, state, and the county. None of that matters. I done saved people's lives. I done saved policemen's lives. None of that matters. They hate us, and that matters. I'm black. I'm intimidating. They're afraid of me. And in their eyes, that's all that matters. I'm never gonna matter to them. Never. I'm never gonna be their equal. I'm not their peers. Never. No matter how hard I try. And I've tried. I've tried for years. And they made it clear to me every day. You're not my equal. This is my land. No matter what you do. No matter how much you fight for it, slave for it. No matter how many people you kill in the name of America, you will never be equal to the people who colonized this land. Never. And that's a hard pill to swallow, especially when you give your life for it. But that is the reality. That's the reality. There's nothing you could do about it. I can read some of this. So if you're, I can't read this. I'm sorry. So if you're a white person, lives Black Hood, it's not a Black Hood, that makes no sense. If you're a white person that lives in a Black Hood, that I didn't say that. I didn't say that. That's why it makes no sense. Because I didn't say it. I didn't say that at all. What I said was, I grew up in a black neighborhood. In my black neighborhood that I grew up in, we still had white people that lived there, but it was a black neighborhood. It was predominantly black. There were only 2 of them. And I said that you can't tell me no neighborhood that's black, the whole neighborhood that's black, and doesn't have a white person living in it. I mean, if you can, let me know. What, Brooklyn? All kind of white people there now. Cabrini Green, shut down. Pink House Projects, maybe. But I bet there was a cool white dude in there somewhere in the Pink House Projects. That's what I said. It's still a black neighborhood, but there's white people that live there. Because they're poor just like us and they need somewhere to go. And we don't attack them. Muhammad Ali once, for not going to war. And we see, there are white people moving into black neighborhoods right now. Down my old neighborhood. Matter of fact, they kicked me out. Kicked me out of the neighborhood I lived in. You know what I'm saying? Down there off of, and they act like I'm the pestilence. You know what I'm saying? There's something special. A gay couple that did this. Just like, because I'm not of the life. I don't believe in homosexuality. So, they kicked me out. And they accused me of crimes that I didn't commit. They thought that I robbed them. And I didn't rob them. Black people robbed them. I ain't had nothing to do with it. I didn't even know about it. Until one of them approached me and said, yo, you know about the robbery that went down? And I was just like, nah, what happened? You know what I'm saying? But they wasn't asking me for information. They was asking me in an accusatory fashion. I didn't know what happened. Because I didn't do it. And the thing about it is they got robbed twice. Some brothers from Long Street, from the knew that these white dudes was making money hand over fist. And the bar, little gay bar they had, that gay bar is popping, man. I mean, it's popping so much. One of them went out and bought a Maserati. And the other one, and then they got their money together so good that they bought the building that I was living in. And then they kicked me out. My building was $800,000. Now they own the whole building instead of just the bar. They just rolled up on the bank like, what's up? How much is it? Boom. And they bought it out. And I was just like, okay, that's some serious jack right there. You know what I'm saying? But that's how good the bar was doing. Well, when people see you making money and you start, going and buying fancy cars and want everybody to look at you, you're going to get robbed. Somebody going to try you. That's what happened. You know what I'm saying? They came right in the bar. Two dudes, masks on, shotguns. You know what I'm saying? Yo, everybody freeze. You know what I'm saying? Hand over the money. And they dipped out. And they didn't get caught. And the score was so nice. They turned around and did the same thing again. And then they thought it was me who had something to do with it. I'm just like, why? Because I'm black? Do you know it was black men that did it? I was like, yo, we don't all know each other. And even if we did, I ain't had nothing to do with it, so I don't know nothing about it. So this is the neighborhood I live in. You know what I'm saying? Can't show everything because people are crazy these days. What up, Jake? J. Cole looking at... Anyway, the people that live in this area, most of them are black, Latino, some whites, but we don't own these houses. We rent from these people. That's what I'm saying. The people who own those houses, that's why it's a white neighborhood. People who own those houses are all white. No black people own those houses. None. You know what I'm saying? They rent to us. That's no big deal. We come and go. We come and go. So anyways, just wanted to talk about that. Nobody's here anymore. Peace.